the March 18th, 2026 meeting of the Southborough Zoning Board of Appeals. Our meeting is live and also remote, can be joined via Zoom. The link to join remotely is can be found at www.southboroughma.gov /674/virtual-meetings. Our first public hearing this evening is for 12 Darlene Drive, and their petitioner is looking for a variance. Or do you want to read the public?
The Board of Appeals of the Town of Southborough will hold a public hearing at the McCulloch Hearing Room, 17 Common Street, Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 at 7:00 p.m. with regard to the petitions of Kurtz Design Studio LLC, 12 Darlene Drive, Southborough, Mass. The petitioner is seeking a variance to construct a front porch addition that will encroach on the front setback. The property is located in the Residence B District, and relief is requested under Section 174-8.3 D3A.
Thank you. Do we have somebody here to present for the petitioner? If you could just begin by with your name and address, or name and what your role is.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Iodice. I'm one of the homeowners at 12 Darlene Drive.
And my name is Jason Kurtz. I am the architect of record.
Okay, thank you very much.
So what brings us in front of you today is the front porch for the existing residence. The original developer, when they built that entire development, there was apparently a Shell oil easement put in, which pushed that relocated the opportunities for the original placement of the home on this particular lot. And in doing so, it forced the structure that they built to be much more forward of the road than all of the other homes in that, subdivision.
Closer to the road?
Yeah. So because of where the septic could be placed and where the structure could be placed, all that was able to be built at the time is they did a monolithic pour concrete porch. It was 4 feet deep, 6 foot wide, very much the standard of the day when the home was built. And that was back in 1994. And what my client is looking to do is to put on a covered entrance to help protect the door, to help to create a space that their guests can arrive and be protected by the elements. And more importantly, in today's world, they get lots of packages delivered, but there's no place to put them safely and to leave them out of the weather. And so they're looking to try and create a structure that can accommodate all these things. The issue is that with the location of the house, it only allows for a minimal covered entrance area, which is not proportionate to the house. So what they're aiming to try and do is get a slight relief of 1.5 feet from the zoning of 30-foot setback in order to allow them to build the structure and get the covering that they need.
Okay. All right. So dimensionally, it encroaches into the setback 1.5 feet.
Essentially, yeah. Correct.
So what's the overall depth of the porch now that's being proposed?
6 foot.
6 foot. Okay. And is it? Sorry, I'm not looking at the.
That's okay.
At the
got it here.
Plans right now. Is it planned to extend further than it does now?
So
proposed. It's just a.
They were gonna widen it and make it a little bit deeper.
It's over here.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just.
Yep.
Mike is being good enough to share with me when I'm unprepared.
No, it's just I've got it open in front of me, so it's basically like you see how it's flush.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I'm not going to have a lot of questions here. That
Okay.
the proposal, the rendering there looks really good. I can certainly hear the hardship in the placement of the house due to the shell oil. I'm familiar with the pipes run through various neighborhoods.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
For
all
the
right.
rendering.
Yeah, so it's not like it's going the length of the house. It's really just like, as you described.
Yeah.
Is really just a covering right there for the door.
Correct.
And I'm going to note, just for the record, there's a number of statements here signed by your neighbors in support of the project.
It's an open air portico as well. It's
Yeah.
basically a couple of columns, but structurally, they're all
Structurally,
inside of.
That's
the
exactly
setback.
right.
Yeah, okay. So I don't have any questions or any problems with it. Seems pretty straightforward to me. Doris, do you have questions?
No, I really don't have any questions, and in general, I'm very much in support of putting the porch on because it solves a couple problems. It really is, I took a ride through the neighborhood. It's gonna be improvement to the neighborhood, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And it's a slab, and now it's gonna look like a front porch. But no, I really don't have any questions. It is 1.5 feet, but I see the hardship like you do, David.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
don't have questions. I really don't.
And really, I would say I am familiar with I didn't specifically drive through,
Yeah,
but
I drove
I'm
through.
very familiar with that neighborhood. I've had friends that live there. Probably not anymore, but I'm familiar with it, and it looks to me like it really fits in the neighborhood. Mike, any questions from you?
No,
Okay. And Jamie, any questions from you?
Nope, I don't see any problems. I'm good.
Didn't get anybody else who are still, have Paul or, no,
We do
okay.
not have Paul or Doug yet.
Okay, all right. Seeing that I think we generally don't.
are there
have a
any
problem.
comments
Oh,
or objections from abutters or neighbors with any questions on this?
Right. I mean, we have people in the room. I don't know if anybody here has anything they want to add. I'm just going to say the board generally doesn't seem to have a problem with it, but we of course welcome any questions or concerns. Anybody raising their hand online?
No, I have no
Okay.
hands online.
Okay. yeah.
I appreciate the completeness of the application.
You
I just wanna say
beat
that.
me to
I,
it.
you know.
Thank
we-
you.
You know,
Pictures, renderings,
the
letters from the
size, the read-
abutters,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it is easy to read through.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, just
right.
to,
This is very
Thank
thorough.
you
Thank
for
you.
taking the
Thank-
time to
thank-
get that
yeah,
done.
put that together. We know it's a
It-
lot of
It's
pieces.
not easy, I get it, but thank you for taking it. Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second,
All right, motion to close the public hearing has been made with a second. All in favor, respond with aye. Opposed, nay. Doris?
aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
And Williams, aye. That closes the public hearing. Given what we've already asked for questions, I don't think there's any discussion necessary.
Make a motion to approve the petition as requested.
Second,
All right, motion to approve the petition as requested has been made with a second. All in favor, respond with aye. Opposed, nay. Doris?
aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
And Williams, aye. Congratulations, you're
Enjoy.
approved.
Thank you.
Thank you again for the complete application.
Yes, thank you
Really.
again.
Mm.
Laura, you can give what the details on
Yeah.
the dates and the
So
follow-up.
just so you guys know, we have 14 days to write and file the decision with the town clerk. We try to have it done a little bit earlier, but I'll let you know as soon as that's filed. Once it's filed with the town clerk, there's a 20-day appeal period. If there's no appeals, once that's over, the town clerk will certify it. You guys can do your building permit and all that stuff. It just needs to be recorded at the registry of deeds. Okay? All right. Yep.
Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, so the next item we have on the agenda is at 7:15 34 Turnpike Road. It's now 7:10, which means we really,
Want to wait a little bit? We could knock out the meeting minutes if you want.
yeah, let's talk about the
Oh.
meeting minutes. I took a look through the meeting minutes. I had one very minor revision for Laura, which I already sent to her. I otherwise had no comments at all. Anybody else? Laura, Dora?
No, I read through them. I don't have any changes or revisions.
Okay,
No comments.
No
all right,
comments.
no comments. Mike, Jamie?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And yeah, that's the correct date, February 11th, 2026?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, hearing that, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for February 11th, 2026 as amended.
Second,
All right. Meeting, approval of the meeting minutes has been made with a second. All in favor, respond with aye, opposed nay. Doris,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Williams, aye. Okay, I don't,
Should have talked slower.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I'm normally not this way. I usually fumble through my words and everything. I don't know what's going on. So we have other items on the agenda, but I really don't want
Yeah,
to
we can't.
Do
get
you
them
want me
done in
to-
3 minutes.
Do you want me to go over our upcoming schedule?
Yes,
We can get that out
Yep.
of the way?
Thank you, Laura.
Of course. So our next regularly scheduled meeting is April 15th. I just want to confirm that date with you guys to make sure that we have a quorum. We don't need to reschedule. It's the week before April vacation.
I'll be here.
Okay,
I'll be
I'm good.
perfect. Wait. Take your time. So we do have one new hearing for that one. So, that's a special permit hearing, so we'll have that at 7, and then we can, if there's anything else that we continue from tonight, we can schedule those after.
okay.
Other than that, the other big date for you guys to be aware of is town meeting is April 11th, and we can get a little bit more into town meeting details when we talk about the ADU bylaw, but I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that date because we do need ZBA representation
For the 11th, right?
for April 11th.
Yeah, I already put that in my calendar just because unless Doris really, really wants to, I'm happy to present on the ADU stuff.
You may
So-
not even need to do a presentation.
That would
but
be
we'll-
so
we'll
much
get into
better.
that.
So, we'll discuss that later, so
Yeah.
if you need a
What-
detail, I can back you up.
I love it.
Okay. 'cause
Thank
we-
you.
yeah.
You
What-
know,
What time is it at, Laura? On the 11th?
11:30,
Sure.
Oh, it's 11:30.
that's
Saturday,
fine.
the 11th. That's
No,
what
it's
I put it in my calendar.
Is it 9
Uh,
o'clock?
Is it at 9?
Hold on.
I don't know.
I have 8 p.m. in my calendar. I have it in my calendar, but for 8 p.m. and that didn't sound right.
I
That's not the
know.
time.
Another Saturday.
Let's see. Hold on one
I
second.
think it starts at 9 or 10.
Must have a way of verifying
March
this.
2nd. It starts at 10 a.m. at
Okay.
Trotter.
See?
Oh, good.
I
stuff.
probably made a note to, that's when I'm gonna show up.
I don't know where we are on the warrant.
We are in the 30s.
Oh, gosh.
That's probably why.
Yeah, but they bundle them now.
Kidding.
They
But
bundle.
there's a number of them on the consent agenda, so it,
Yeah, it's
I
not
swear
as
to
bad.
God.
It's not, how many warrants articles are
I think 36.
Well, we,
there? Okay.
Yeah, my stomach already hurts.
Who's
We're
ahead of
like- we're
us?
like 31.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to work out like before and after that meeting.
Okay.
Oh,
just,
no.
just to keep the tension down.
Right, we got 5 seconds.
Almost.
We're almost
Okay.
there.
Is that by the atomic clock?
Yes.
Okay, just
There
checking
we
we
go.
got the
We've got
right clock.
7:15.
There you
Okay. So our hearing on the agenda for 7:15 PM is 34 Turnpike Road, Erasmo Barrasso Special Permit. Now, we understand that the request is to continue the hearing, correct?
Yes, I do believe the applicant wants to talk to the board a little bit.
Okay.
But you want to open it and I'll read the thing?
Yeah, yeah. So you want to go ahead and read the public notice?
The Board of Appeals of the Town of Southborough will hold a public hearing at the McCullough Hearing Room, 17 Common Street, Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 at 7:15 PM with regard to the petitions of Erasmo Barroso, 34 Turnpike Road, Southborough, Mass. The petitioner is seeking a special permit to allow an extension and/or alteration to a pre-existing non-conforming structure. The property is located in the Residence B District, and relief is requested under Section 174-19 and Section 174-9.
Do we have somebody here to speak? Okay, just go ahead. Yeah, if you could just name and address or what your role is.
Hi, my name is Attorney Brian Kudish. I'm the representative for the homeowner, Mr. Erasmo. Yes, Erasmo Barroso.
Okay, and you're the applicant, yes, okay, thank you. So that gives us the address of 34 Turnpike, thank you.
The homeowner just engaged me on Friday. Ms. Davis was nice enough to send me a letter regarding the abutter this afternoon that she just received, I believe, this morning. I know the other abutter is here tonight, so I wanted to answer any questions they might have or you might have regarding some of the things in the letter.
Okay,
if that's possible. I mean, I'd like to continue it because we don't have a special, we've not applied for the special permit, but I also want to discuss the dwelling itself and the history of the dwelling and how I also see it from
Okay,
my eyes and also the homeowners.
okay. I mean, just procedural history, my understanding is Ms. Davis has been communicating, just trying to make sure we have all the necessary materials. And we're still not quite there yet. But if you'd like to go ahead and do a little discussion of why, you made this request and maybe a little bit on the history,
Yeah.
Sure.
that would be great.
So if you go on, you do a search of 34 Turnpike Road, you'll see the history of the house. It used to be a single dwelling, very old house with a trailer in the front, lots of trash. The homeowner bought the house in 2021. He fixed it up. It was one of the questions from the abutter at 38 is regarding the septic system. The septic system was approved by the Board of Health. And he also states in his letter that the septic system is right in the front of the house. The septic system, we just came by, left there around 6:30. The septic system is to the left of the house.
Okay,
There is an overhang on the side, in the letter you have. He's going to remove that on the door on the left,
okay,
right of the house. He's going to remove that overhang.
okay,
I told him, and he admitted, tops are not appropriate. He's been like that. Those tops have been on the side and the front for 2 years now. So the homeowner is correct. You could get skunk, you could get possums, especially with the cold weather. He's going to fix that as soon as possible.
okay,
When I spoke to Dennis O'Brien yesterday from the surveyor, and when it was originally surveyed, it was 15 feet. Now it's 13 feet 9 inches
okay,
because of the overhang. But also as you go, the property gets deeper. So you do get almost 20 feet in the back, but he's in violation with the overhang.
the overhang, okay,
Correct.
okay, got it, okay,
And then in terms of the letter that the abutter wrote at 38 Turnpike Road, he uses the words my easement, my taxes. Quite frankly, it's the towns, it's anybody, it's open to the public. It's not necessarily it's anyone. And also the homeowner is actually, if you really want to get technical, he's actually paying more taxes than the homeowner at 38 Turnpike Road.
okay,
But the septic was approved. Erasmo told me that he went through, I guess the town has had some turnover in terms of either the inspectors or the building inspector.
yes,
So unfortunately, but he did get approval for the foundation. He did go to a qualified surveyor. Dennis O'Brien's been in business, I talked to him yesterday, like I said, for 30 years. And then there's a question about cars. When we drove by tonight, you really can't state how many cars are gonna be there. It's just him and his wife. He has grown children. One is in college right now, so I don't see that to be a problem. The gentleman at 38 had 4 cars. He might have 2 cars. There is a van there. He's gonna remove that. That is an eyesore.
okay,
And then the other thing, in terms of where the property was, 4 or 5, 6 years ago to was now, once it's fixed up and he's willing to pave a good portion of maybe the town's road even, or that Turnpike Road, because right now the water is actually running from the property adjacent to it down. So
Okay.
he's also willing to he's talked to one of the town officials, some kind of box. Shut my phone off, please.
for drainage
For
purposes.
drainage.
Yep, okay.
Um,
So, sorry, what's the nonconformity? I was kind of looking for,
I believe the nonconformity, when they came out and they did the as-built.
Yep.
I believe it's the overhang.
it's the overhang, okay, yeah, okay, sorry, you said that. Okay,
And also, there was some letter this morning about noise. He told me that he went there yesterday to use the compressor, as an air compressor to blow up his tires, and somehow the machine went back on. I believe Ms. Davis just received that letter this morning from the abutter right next door.
okay,
But if that was the case, I mean, it really wasn't an issue for the town. It's really an issue for the police. She should have called, or she should have called the police department and said there was a, public nuisance in terms of noise.
Yeah, we don't really
Yeah,
get
and
into.
I'm just trying to answer some of the,
Yeah,
low-hanging fruit in terms of the points made in the letters.
Okay.
The gentleman in the audience now, he had a question about the septic. That was approved by the town,
the septic.
the septic, Mr. Williams. That was approved. I don't think the septic is an issue.
Okay,
The cars, I think, anybody can have a number of cars that they want. Like I said, he's only gonna have 2 or 3 cars. He's gonna get the van out of there. He's gonna get the
Right.
crane off the easement.
okay,
I told him that's not good.
okay. But just regarding the Board of Health, we do have something from Dennis Costello saying they haven't signed off on the replacement of the septic system permit from November 2022. Still waiting for as-built plans from the installer. Is that accurate?
I can check into that.
Okay.
That's
And I
from
mean,
the, Dennis Costello's from the Board of Health.
correct.
And I'm sorry, what was the date, please?
The date on that is March 12th, 2026.
Okay.
And I mean, we're not gonna legislate that here. Obviously,
sure,
that's
sure.
something to work out with the Board of Health. And also, just in consideration of the request to continue it, I don't, I appreciate you wanting to have some comments here this evening. I suppose we would have to welcome any comments that anybody has, but understand that if we're waiting for, the sign off from the Board of Health, and were there other things we needed?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a list that I sent, I believe Rodrigo has it, he shared that with you. There's a list, a checklist with the application that we went through that we're missing. So the existing
Okay.
site plan with the current additions.
We have the deed, copy of the deed,
The
the as-built,
deed, yeah.
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess where I'm coming from is I'm not sure I see the need to really have even much of a part of a public hearing, knowing that we're waiting on this anyhow.
Okay.
Like why should we go through to try to come to
Sure,
a
I
decision
understand.
when it's really incomplete? Ms. Davis asked me at one point, what do you want to do? It's not sufficient, but you might be familiar with the way it works, right? When you file the application, we have so much time before we have to
Correct.
take action on it. So our conclusion was let's have the hearing here, but let's just agree that we're going to have a continuation to April 15th, which would be
Okay.
the next time that we have the meeting. So
All right, thank you.
Have we heard anything from Mark in the building back on this yet?
So I don't have comments. He did ask me to mention tonight to make sure that you secure the building because he is concerned about that.
Correct.
But in terms of other comments, I don't have anything from.
Okay,
Mark,
I
but
just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
Excuse me, who's Mark?
Mark Robidoux, the building commissioner.
Okay.
He did say you are welcome to reach out to him as well.
Okay,
I told that to my client that he needs to do that. It's been like that for way too long.
yeah, I would suggest, yeah, if you get it on the same page with the building
Sure.
commissioner as soon as possible, that would be a good move on your part. Okay.
Very good.
So we need to then just,
it would need a formal request to continue, no?
They did send me an email. I
That's
think I
right.
forwarded
Yep,
Board.
so they've made a motion to continue this hearing, and we're going to continue that to the April date.
yeah, so the April 15th is okay to continue the hearing till then? Will you be ready then?
I think April 15th, we want to give another, what do you think? 30 days is enough?
I mean, if you want to continue it further, that's your choice.
I'd rather-
If you think you're not going to be ready.
Make sure you get all the ducks in a row. I'd rather go 60 days, gentlemen.
What's
Ladies and
the-
gentlemen, I'd rather do that way.
May 20th is our next hearing after that.
I'll be out of the country then.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me either. I'll be out of the country for a couple of weeks there.
We can change it to either May 13th or May 27th, if one of those works better for the board.
27th would be better for me. I don't know about anybody else.
I
That's
think
after-
I've
just
got
after
something
Memorial
on
Day.
the 27th. Let me They go on.
Probably make either work, so it's really.
I apologize. I'll be out of the country from like the 20th to the 28th.
The 28th? Okay.
The 20th to the 20th. Could someone give those open dates again?
The 13th, I think, is the currently only one that.
Yeah, but it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
Which day?
I'm out the 11th through the 24th, so that's why the 27th would be okay, but you're saying that doesn't work for you.
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Do you want to, can we put on the agenda for the April 15th, and if something changes?
Right, you can do that. You can come back then, and if we're not ready,
Okay.
you can continue the hearing again.
That's fine.
So,
I appreciate that.
okay. Is there a particular time for
I would say 7:15.
7:15? Okay.
That's fine. I have it in the calendar.
Okay.
So 4:15, 7:15.
I'm
Yes, that's
away
correct.
the last 2 weeks of April into a little bit into,
Okay.
right after that.
But,
meeting,
but
that's
you're,
fine.
but April 15th works for you. Okay, good. So I'm going to make a motion to continue the public hearing until April 15th at 7:15 PM.
Second.
All right, motion to continue the hearing has been made with a second. All in favor, respond with aye. Opposed, nay. Doris?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
And
Paul also.
Paul?
Aye.
All right.
I'm here.
Paul's here, okay.
Aye.
And Williams, aye. Okay, very good.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll see you back
Thank you for
on.
your time tonight.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
On this,
Uh,
I don't know if that's a procedure.
yeah, procedurally,
we just continued the
just
hearing.
because,
so
because nothing's been decided.
I'm sorry if I didn't make it clear. No. I was basically respecting the fact that they asked in advance for a continuation of the hearing. So that sort of puts us in a position, to me, in a position where I know that they need more materials here. So that's why my comment on, I really don't want to go through a whole hearing with them not having everything that they need, because it's somewhat moot.
And hopefully they can cure some of these issues before the next hearing too.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would say come back on April 15th and we can go into more detail on that. We always provide, the opportunity for our butters and the public to speak. Yeah, there's no
Absolutely.
reason
I
why
would
not.
just, send it, I would send a quick email message to the town office.
Yeah,
If you want to send an email to me, and you can also provide any comments that way as well.
Any
if that's easier
emails,
for you.
photos,
Yeah.
documents, please provide that to us, because we definitely want to take that, any concerns into any decision we make.
all right. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. I lose that.
We are right on time.
Am I really?
Yeah.
Mr. Charville this.
Welcome back.
Ryan, how are you?
I'm very well. And you?
Good, thank you. All right, so, and it is 7:31. Okay, 7:30 PM. Our next item on the agenda for a public hearing is 250 Turnpike Road / 0 Parkerville Road, comprehensive permit. This is a continuation of a hearing, so there's nothing to read. So, Mr. Charville?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members, staff. I'm Brian Charvel, the General Counsel with Ferris Development Group, here representing FD 250 Turnpike Road, which is the applicant and the landowner of this project, which is, is a 40B proposed comprehensive permit at this address. As I let the abutters attorney St. Andre know, the headline here is, this is just a brief procedural update, nothing substantive tonight.
Right.
And we'd ask at the end of this, a brief update to come back on April 15th to really have a substantive discussion about what's transpired since we were last together. That's all right.
Sure.
The one headline is, in the meantime, right around Christmas, the Board of Health finished reviewing the septic plan for this project and approved it.
Okay.
And there's a letter that is available on the project page on your website, which is very helpful, that confirms that approval. Also, a couple of weeks ago, the applicant filed updated plans and response letters. And again, thanks to Lara, they're all on the website. So I would point anybody that's listening or hears this meeting later to look at the project website because it's all there. So the things that were filed in the meantime were an updated full site plan set, a number of drainage related and stormwater documents,
Okay.
an updated waivers list that I want you all to know added one additional waiver, just for clarity, which is we recognize that when it came to outdoor illumination, it was being evaluated because of the zoning under the residential illumination standard, and we asked for a waiver for it to be evaluated under a multifamily standard. And we have a buffer zone mitigation planting plan. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
But that's posted.
Okay.
And then finally, 2 letters, one from our civil engineer, which responds to your letter you received, the last one, from your civil reviewer, Howard Stein Hudson, another
Mhm.
mouthful,
Yep.
last August, which is where their peer review left off. And then we respond through our wetlands folks at Goddard Consulting to your wetlands expert, Lucas Environmental,
Mhm.
who also had sent in an August letter.
Okay.
So that all being said, thanks to Lara, your peer reviewers have our updated filings and they're going through them. The hope is that they'll be able to talk to our experts in the next couple of weeks. And if there is any comparing of notes that needs to happen, that can occur so that everybody's able to come in and have a real substantive update. Your reviewers, our experts on April 15th.
Yeah, that would be good. That was a question, if it was all right for you to reach out to the peer reviewers. So I assume that's happened, and that's why you're in that state where you are, that there's going to be continued dialogue over the next few weeks. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And you'll see if you look at our experts' response letters, as you're accustomed to, they take the open items and respond to each of those, trying to narrow down the list.
Okay, right. Okay, good.
One update too, I guess, is on the site plan, you'll see, well, of course, a very significant question had been where the roadway goes between the 2 detention basins. And I believe that's been narrowed. So it
Mhm.
means that that wetland passage for invertebrates
Mhm.
will now be shorter in length, which is considered better. So they have
Okay.
less length they need to traverse
Okay.
in the dark.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's it.
So just administratively, we need to continue the hearing, but also we need to have a change in the date that we need to close the public hearing. Do you have a date in mind for that to be extended?
Most recently, we have extended to, I think, April
29th.
29. Thank you.
Okay.
And so that will get us through that what we hope is the substantive meeting. We could say till the board's May meeting or right thereafter. That's all right.
I'm sorry.
Or maybe the board's May meeting or right thereafter for a deadline to close.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be helpful. I think we're realizing though, before we really get into debating when we're going to meet in May, that
Yes.
we already have a conflict with when we normally do it. You could, I mean, I want to say you could just simply extend it to the end of May if you'd like. I would imagine we'll try to work out a date of some sort in May, hopefully. Or do you want to keep it at 4/29 and then revisit it at the April
If we
meeting?
may, that'd be our preference. And I will say, as I have before, that if, as a result of the 15th, it's clear that more time is needed, we will be prepared then
Right.
to extend.
Yeah, I know sometimes Jay gets concerned about that. He's a lawyer. He's a good one, but I think tend to be less concerned. I think we've had a good dialogue, a good relationship, and I would like to think that if we get to the meeting at 4:15, we go, it's not possible, that you would be open to extending that further. So
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, since we really basically agreed to not have testimony, I don't know that we necessarily need to go through, questions from the board members, unless somebody has something they really want to ask now.
I had one small question, and I was going to ask the culvert question, but you just wanted an update on it. I had read the update on the sprinkler and the extension road, the sprinklers would be adequate with the fire chief, because originally
Mhm.
there was concern there wasn't enough for the turnabout for the truck with the bucket, a fire truck with the bucket, because the radius to go around the neighborhood.
Yes,
Is that updated in the final
I
site
believe that's been
plan?
addressed. Yes.
Okay, you do. It's
Yes.
okay if you don't know.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think it has been. Yes. We
Okay.
cleared that, I think, in
Cleared it, so it
what
can-
was submitted August 1, I think was the last site plan
Right.
set before the one that went in a couple
So
of weeks
the-
ago.
The conclusion is either the radius is, and it'll be sprinklers, not a secondary access road.
I know the biggest answer was that we did through a study show that there's enough room for a truck to turn around.
Okay. Okay, the bigger the safety issues, truck has to get in.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so if we have, do you already have something to extend the?
Yep, so they submitted
closure of the-
with the revised material.
Okay.
Submitted a letter to extend it to April 29th.
Okay.
Did file that with the town clerk.
Okay, so we're good there. We just need
Mhm.
to, since they've agreed to it, we just need to make a motion to continue the public hearing until 4:15 at what time?
7:30.
7:30.
Make a motion to continue the public hearing to 4:13 to 7:30.
I thought it was 4:15.
4:15, sorry.
At 7:30, okay. Did I have a second?
Second.
Second, okay. All right, motion has been made to continue the public hearing to April 15th at 7:30 with a second. All in favor, respond with aye. Opposed, nay. Doris?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Paul? We're here.
Oh,
Come on, Paul, don't let us down. Williams, aye.
There we go.
right. You have a quorum
Okay.
for,
Yeah, all right, that's continued. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
For
Frank.
you.
April 15th.
April 15th, 7:30. Yep.
Brian, just so you know, actually, I did want to ask the board super quick to confirm that we wanted our peer reviewers present at the 4:15 meeting
Oh,
to discuss.
yeah, absolutely. Provided that, you feel like
Yeah, exactly.
we have something to
Appropriate
talk
for that
about.
time, yes.
Yeah.
I think you know very well that we are going to rely on what they have to say. So yes, I would certainly like them to be there. Obviously, with all possible diligence, if that looks like it's not going to happen, it's not going to be, worthwhile. Please work with them and with us as efficiently as you can.
Yep, we will.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Thank you.
See you, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, so we took care of approval of meeting minutes, talked a little bit about upcoming schedule. But ADU bylaw warrant article discussion and town meeting process, I think we ought to talk about that now. So we have, or they have the language in for the warrant, so that's fixed. And Mike, you and Doris will be ready to present or discuss.
Laura, you're gonna give us some feedback. You said something about
Yeah.
what Mark Purple, this is Mark Purple had given us that the select board's gonna actually sponsor it.
Yes.
Explain that,
So-
'cause it's not that- but Mike is gonna have to talk and maybe I can support a question, because I got
Yeah.
more into some of the details.
So Mark Purple had sent out the final draft of the warrant before the select board signed it last night. And I was just looking through and I noticed that it said sponsored by select board. And so I asked him about that because I had assumed it was ZBA. And the short version is that he said it's going to stay sponsored by the select board. The select board will be the ones to move it onto the floor. But that ZBA should be there and be prepared for any sort of discussion and questions. I don't think that's that big of a deal. The select board just makes a motion. So I don't know that you guys need to do a presentation. I don't know that it's that in depth. I did reach out to Jim Hegarty today as well, just in case you guys wanted to put together like a one-page handout, we can do that. Just to kind of compare what the current code is to what you're proposing. It might be a little bit simpler if that's something that you guys have an appetite for.
I think the one-page handout or one-page flyer is a great idea. What I need is a drop dead date. We must have this letter from you by this date, because if I don't deadline it, it'll be like my comments will be passed.
I know, I feel so bad.
Don't. I mean, I'm on fuego, so between my
Yeah.
kids and
So
kids and
I think if
Law
you guys
practice.
want to do a handout, I'm happy to help with it as well. Jim said that they need it by the Thursday before town meeting, so that would be April 9th.
there's my drop dead date. I'm gonna put it in the calendar.
So that needs to be at his office by the 9th, because they're gonna be setting up for town meeting on the 10th. And he usually puts, I've never been to town meeting here, but from my understanding, he usually has a table with
Yeah.
all the handouts and stuff like that. So it'll just go there. There's a couple things that need to go on it, make sure that it says that it was prepared by ZBA, identify the warrant article. Those kinds of things need to be on it. But other than that, it's up to you guys, however you want to do it. But I don't think you need to do like a PowerPoint presentation or
Right.
anything like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea to have a one-page handout. The only,
It's good just for.
Keep on track to get asked a
Yeah,
question.
exactly.
yeah, and to me, having been to town meeting, several times, I think Laura brought up really good points. What is it now? What are we proposing to change it to?
That's all it
And
is.
then
Less is
why,
more.
why are we doing this?
Less is more.
Yeah, but I do think it's,
Practically bullet points.
right, I think it's important to just say, well, why are you doing this? Because I think they always want to know, why do we care about this? And I think you can speak to that pretty well, so.
That was, they've addressed most of our concerns with
They
respect.
actually simplified things a bit by removing it out of special permit.
Mhm.
And we're supportive of going larger because of the general layout of the houses. Targeting, I don't think we should put the inventory listing because that's got people's addresses. Targeting
No.
what ADU is
No.
supposed to try to address, which is small apartments that kind of fit for Southborough, and Westboro's kind of doing that increased square footage the same way. I don't think it's
Yeah.
that hard.
Yeah, I don't
Understand it at all.
think
No.
I don't think you want to get into all that detail
No.
unless
No.
somebody asks for it.
And I
Hopefully
feel
they
like
won't.
between Doris and myself, we can nail that if
Okay.
someone has
Oh, no,
specific questions.
yeah, we'll make sure that. we're not-
Yeah, that's not my concern. My concern is trying to, people want to burn through these things. Like if this presentation's more than 15 minutes, we're failing. Oh, yeah.
If
I
you
gotta
can
see
make
how
it
it can go
15
more than
minutes,
five.
I'd be
That's
okay.
I would say 5
Couldn't
minutes.
agree more.
Yeah.
I'm being generous on it.
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer, I can do.
Yeah, you're right. So we're gonna give you a target, Mike. If you're more than 5, like Jamie
It's
said.
just,
Yeah.
I'm
You
failing.
missed
you're-
the mark.
We'll make the
Failing.
moderator happy. He says
No,
3
but like, we
minutes,
gotta get
3
through this stuff.
Yeah,
And I think on paper, it looks like more than it is.
Yes.
So maybe having that one page that just says. this
That's
is
what I
it
think
this
is
what it's
important,
gonna
because
be.
when you look at it, you instantly
What are you
glaze
doing to the
over.
code?
Right.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
it.
You're
And what's the reserve
adjusting.
space?
Yes,
Some of those
when you
questions
pull it
popped
up, you're like, this is,
What are they
like,
doing?
no one is reading this.
Right.
No one.
no,
Right.
it's way too much.
Remove,
There is a
remove,
summary, wait a second, there's a beautiful summary at the bottom.
no doubt,
Then,
but
no doubt, they read it, they're just like, what is that? Forget, can we put the summary on?
basically the summary is all we're practically gonna do.
Yeah,
You gotta go for the
And then you
summary.
just go for the bullet.
3
points.
minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love it.
now,
But-
and but you know that at the last planning board meeting, Jack Bartolini said, all of a sudden he had some concerns. Sorry, I didn't see this before. And I honestly did not really wrap my head very close around what his concerns were.
I
But
get it.
Just be ready for that is all I would say.
So Jack had called me. I haven't spoken to him, just because I know him both personally and professionally. And so, and he knows what he's talking
Yeah, he does.
about. It is conversion. So the ADU legally is not like, in practice, you're turning a single family into a two-family by the addition of an ADU. Legally, it is not. So I'll use my house for example. Single-family home with an ADU in the backyard. Let's just say like I tie in the barn in my backyard and now I've got an ADU. That does not, if I was to go sell that on MLS, that would be a single-family house with an ADU. It would not be a two-family. A two-family is a separate type of legal designation. Unless I'm mistaken, I think Jack's concerned that because right now there's a 2-year term to convert a single to a two-family. And that if we apply these metrics, the 25% and the 1,200 for ADU, that's going to negatively impact his ability, his workaround for the conversion. And if I understand his argument, and again, I haven't spoken to him, but if I understand his argument, I think it's a different path. I think we're talking two separate things.
Well, yeah, because I mean,
as opposed to
the ADU,
it's my understanding.
one, we've always had accessory apartments, right? Now we have ADUs. And
That's
the
exactly.
ADU is, we're saying can't be bigger than 1,200 square feet, right? Unless you get a special permit.
Unless you get a special permit.
Unless you get a special permit. Whereas a two-family, to me, and this is where I got confused. A two-family is, you don't have limitations like that on square footage.
That's my understanding as well.
So
I think,
I don't quite understand.
I think he's
a
worried
problem.
that going forward, because there's just a lot of confusion about this.
Hmm.
That the town, the building department, the regulators are going to say they're going to treat apples and pineapples the same. And I just, if that's his argument, I don't think that, I think they're two separate paths.
I think, I mean, my understanding when listening to his comments at the planning board meeting is that you're removing the ability for the bigger, so it's impacting the bigger homes, right? We're saying you can't have more than 1,200 square feet.
By
If you have a
right.
5,000, but there's no path to a special permit for bigger than that with the
Right.
with the
Agreed.
ADU.
Because there's no such thing then.
Right, because we're getting rid of the special permits,
But-
we're getting rid of that 25%, so you can't have bigger. And he was saying he used that calculation on bigger homes to essentially make a two-family.
And that's how we get the inventory we have. which is-
However,
if you look at our inventory,
That
our inventories,
hasn't-
it was being more used for larger accessory apartments versus
Yeah.
bypass. You could actually see it in the stat. But with that is our next agenda item,
yes,
which is,
but I do want to point out that in reality, I've been here 3.5 years. That's never happened. You know what I mean? We haven't had an accessory apartment application for somebody to come in to say, I want 25% of my 10,000 square foot home. And we've only had one conversion of a single family to a two-family in the time that I've been here.
Yeah.
And I think looking at our list of permitted ADUs or accessory apartments that we've had since 1979,
which is 34.
yes, the majority of them are on the smaller end and would benefit from the bylaw as drafted.
Yeah, I think it's
Not
more
to
the
say-
smaller home.
Maybe
That's
it
what it
is time
is.
that we address two-family zoning within our bylaw as a separate avenue.
Okay, I got
You
that a
know,
little bit more
Like if,
now.
if we're
I see his
saying,
argument a little
here's
bit
this
more clearly.
loophole that I've been using, but in reality, nobody is actually using it. Let's give you a valid path forward instead of a loophole.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's
so.
make sure that it
So,
works
yeah,
for
there's
you.
a couple of different workarounds you would see with the porches going into the habitable square footage, but I think that cleans the percentages up. So you may not directly see that as a two-family use, and it separates it, which is that
That's,
last.
again, I wouldn't necessarily think of that as a two-family use.
Yeah, I just see them as
I think
completely
we need
different. and-
Housing, that's
and-
kind of where, you know, if
yeah.
we need to address this.
But I think Laura has a good point. It's like, we're not inundated with ADU requests. And
No.
by not, it's a fair point to say we should have a special permit process for exceeding the 1,200 square feet, let's say, right? That you can apply for a special permit for that. But having said that, I really have a hard time believing that can't wait until the next town meeting to add that amendment.
What Nina Latrell had said in planning, which got us this extra step, just take it out of special permit. She said you really have to have conditions, and what that does, we have no conditions left, therefore why are you having a special permit?
Yeah.
We didn't have a set of conditions to put on, I guess if you're over
But
1,200 square.
If you're
feet.
over 1,200 square feet.
Right, so
right.
you could add it, but you could address it later, or probably
Right.
better. I was leaning, when talking to Jack at second planning meeting, was, you know, really just taking a look at what would it mean to address the 2-year limit? And that's,
Yeah.
the 2-year limit, why is it there? It's one of those, maybe it's not proper for the town now with the shortage of housing, and maybe it was proper when that was originally put in. I didn't check the dates when we enacted that.
Yeah.
That's been around. a
Why
while,
why
right?
do
It
you do
has
that?
been
You
around
know?
a while. I know, and
I'm not
I
saying it's
think
wrong.
there's a better way to do it. Because think about from a building code perspective, the building code for a single family versus a 2-family home is very different. You have to have, you know, different fire stopping and all that stuff. So the codes are different. So considering that, if you're taking a 1-family and converting it to a 2-family after 2 years.
Yeah, that's,
Is, you know,
that's
it
exactly
seems
it.
like more of a hurdle than it should be. So maybe we simplify it and maybe we'll take a look at it.
What I didn't know, and that's what we're talking about, I don't even come close to knowing, is what other parts of the code does that impact? Now you just answered partly, is we have zoning is different for ADUs than it ever was for multifamily, because of the
Yeah.
fire stopping, because, yeah, I know egress is pretty much the same for a secondary apartment, you have to have a second way to get out.
Yeah.
But
That's the same thing with the ADU,
it's the same thing with the ADU, but I
because
wouldn't.
it has to be a self-contained unit. And it has to meet that building code requirements, but it doesn't have to meet the building code requirements for a 2-family.
Right. And an ADU could be detached
That's exactly
and a
right.
2-family is not, right? They're,
You
are
could,
they,
you
are they
could,
typically attached?
they're typically attached.
Yeah.
It could be the character of the neighborhood. We can just continue on. You're in a single family neighborhood.
Yeah,
What
it's
would be the
almost
react-
like a duplex, but
Yeah, you don't want
even
to
those are typically attached. I've seen builders go out of their way to specifically separate them,
Interesting.
but
Okay.
in a
they couldn't,
neighborhood
they could,
perspective.
because they couldn't do a condo.
Yeah.
So they have to visit two.
But we have a housing
Totally separate.
problem.
I mean, the condo thing is another
Yeah.
piece that perhaps.
Well, we could, you know,
We need
then
to-
we're down the mobile home. I was a little unclear why they took that out of our ADU bylaw.
I think it had to do with our definition within our bylaw.
I
Our
see,
definition of
okay.
a mobile home kind of conflicted with the state, is my understanding.
Yeah, because the state really wanted to get rid of mobile homes as a potential AD.
Yeah, but our bylaw allowed for something that could be considered under the state as not a mobile home.
So
Which is
mobile
bizarre.
home, there are, I'm forgetting the exact term, but if it doesn't have a set foundation, there's a definite, it's like a manufactured home.
Mhm.
Tiny house. We'll keep going.
It's a tiny house. So there's a key discrepancy between a mobile home, which is basically on wheels.
Mhm.
That the state was like, these are not ADUs, because people were using those as workarounds.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want to pull up my own presentation because I can't think of it. But basically like what I would consider like quote unquote trailer park. Those aren't mobile, even though you can pick them up and move them.
Yeah.
Those are permissible under Mass General Law.
And I think that's where our definition in
That's
our bylaw
exactly my understanding.
covers those.
So those type of homes are permissible to be legal ADUs. You could just call an ADU company, pick one out online. They
Well,
can come and drop it off in your backyard and
Yeah.
you're done.
That market is out of control, pushing all sorts of, I'm just wondering what's gonna pop up.
Manufactured homes.
Manufactured tiny house, let's just throw down a
gosh.
slab and up they go.
We're getting questions
But
from them in the building department all the time.
Manufactured homes are permissible within the statute.
Yes.
From Mass General Law, but they didn't want them to be mobile. And it's
So
more of
mobile,
it's
yeah.
more of an aesthetic,
Yeah.
because when people think mobile homes, they think of like an RV.
Yeah,
When you think of manufactured homes, people are like, I don't even know what that is. And when they see it, most people don't care. Like, oh, that's,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of
Like a cottage.
manufactured, literally a lot of manufactured homes,
Cottage.
you wouldn't even know that
Yeah.
it
Right.
wasn't on a
Because you
foundation.
might put
But
them
then
on,
that's-
either on a
yeah,
slab or on
probably
an
not
actual
that-
foundation.
That's
Just
exactly.
want to
So
be
then what's
ahead
the
of that
difference?
tech, you know,
That's, but that's the
Unless they
needle
become,
thread for the Commonwealth.
that
Because
Airbnb.
manufactured are permissible by right, but a true mobile home is exactly what the Commonwealth didn't want.
yeah. I'm sure there's safety concerns and Board of Health concerns with
It's,
that as
it's,
well.
it's a lot to do with just safety.
Yeah.
Again, the state trying to address the illegal apartments, trying to address all of those things.
Oh, I do want to mention,
So what are
just-
we gonna do? Before we
Yeah.
jump, before we jump, are we doing, so ADUs were set for town meeting?
Yeah.
On the warrant, and then are we going to?
select board
Select
voted
board's gonna do it.
unanimously to
Um,
support it.
Mike sounds like he's drafting that summary, very short preamble. And if there was a detail, he can't get it, I'll catch it.
Yeah, please,
that's
that'd be
okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I do want to add within that realm, just because it came up today, I had a question from Board of Health
Yeah.
that they wanted to make sure that with this bylaw, we're not saying, yes, you can do whatever you want regardless of your septic.
No,
And I
septic
said, I
is
want to
the
be
key
very
provision.
clear that like our bylaw does not override Title V
I
requirements.
think I can speak to that
So-
at the
Right,
town.
yeah.
meeting
Just in
as
case
well.
it comes
Right.
up.
yeah.
It has to be consistent with Board of
Oh,
Health.
in all
Yeah.
zoning, you can't
Yeah.
still put it too
Well,
close to the road, too
variance.
close to
So-
the fence, none of that, all that.
But
zoning.
what we're saying is they don't need to come to us to get the ADU, as
Correct.
long as it's not over 1,200
As long
feet.
as it's not.
But that doesn't mean they're not going to the building commissioner
Right.
to build, and they have to have plans, and the building commissioner knows, well,
they need
do you
to
have
have
permission
something.
from
So,
from the Board of Health?
perfect
So
example
none of
is-
that is
Get
Let's,
excluded.
let's just say our first petitioner was building an ADU and they needed a foot and a half. They're still gonna need zoning relief for the variance. Those, all of those rules, and there's a reference to it in the amended bylaws. That if you're in a historic district, the historic rules apply. If you have
Mhm.
wetlands buffers that you have to deal with, you still have to conform with lot
Yeah.
dimension setbacks.
You get no relief from everything. that
Anything,
already
no,
exists.
this is not a magic wand.
Yeah.
And this doesn't make pre-existing non-conforming illegal uses conforming. They have to go through the permit process to get it.
But in a summary format.
That's exactly.
Well,
So
yeah, I
basically,
think.
this is
that's
a new
what we
bylaw,
prefer.
but all other applicable local, state, federal permits are still required.
Correct.
Board of Health,
Okay.
septic, for us on septic, that's.
So,
What's the, do we want to tackle the two-family, two-year rule? Do you want to tackle that?
No, I think if Jack really wants to raise that at town meeting, I think we speak to it, but I think.
Yeah.
That's a kettle of.
I think we
Is
say
it
that that's a
more-
separate thing
Do we
to
tackle
pursue.
it for fall town meeting?
That's what I
Correct,
said.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. tackle it.
Not for right now. but
No,
No.
no, because it, you
Yeah.
know, and that was discussed at planning, that,
Yeah.
you know, okay. You know,
I get
and,
it.
You know, we've had like 5 and 6 and 7 meetings on this with renditions back and forth with planning, back and forth with select board. And it's very last minute in my mind. The answer was no.
Yeah,
but-
to me, I think I think it would, if anything, obviously it would be for the fall town meeting, but I would begin that with the planning board saying, do they have any understanding of what's the 2-year rule about? Why do we need that? Is there any reason to keep it in place?
Exactly.
You know?
It seems
I
antiquated.
don't, we probably, it would probably be really difficult to figure
No
out
doubt.
No doubt.
why they
No, but
did
what's-
what they
What's
did.
worthwhile now with the priorities? to do?
Because I don't know when they did that, but you know, to get into the mind of whoever made that change when they did.
Yeah, I'd rather try to touch the moon.
But I think the proper forum for that is, the planning board gets concerned about things like that. I could see them seeing some sort of reason why you don't want to do it. So I think the right way to do it is to raise it with them and say, hey, why do we have this?
Mimi seemed very receiving, and she said, why don't you guys do it?
I mean, they
That-
have a
not
lot on
bad.
their plate.
They have a lot
really
on their
do.
plate, so I
Yeah.
think the communication's open, but they're looking for us to initiate. Why do you think that's on the books? So I don't have to reinvent the wheel here.
I mean, we can start the research and gather some information and
I'll look into
figure
it.
out like,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
as far as like building codes and what's required and the other
Okay.
places in the
And
zoning
visit the
code. I'm
planning
happy
board,
to do that.
just trying to get to the root of, I wonder what year that was done. That's pretty easy to see in the code, though,
Yeah. it's
what
usually-
year we had that.
Okay.
Oh, I do want to say, so planning board has kept the public hearing open for this. They usually keep them open until town meeting. That's when they close it.
All right.
So their next one is March 23rd. It's on Monday. I think it would be good if somebody from ZBA was present, just in case somebody has questions.
Okay.
But, I mean,
I'm in Florida. Okay, I'm really gotta have this time off.
yes,
No,
no,
I'm not
do
gonna
it.
vote. I don't usually take, but
Okay.
I just want to have
I should be
at
able
least
to
one
vote.
person.
And it's, that's this upcoming
Yeah.
Monday. And it's open, is it in the beginning part of the meeting? I
It'll
hope?
probably be in the beginning.
So I could probably zoom in.
Yes. So I just want to make sure somebody's there in case there are more last minute questions. I don't
Okay.
think it's gonna lead to changing the bylaw, but
Right.
No,
I mean,
but-
any changes at this point have to be made on the floor.
Just in case Jack shows up and says, I've got another question for you.
He-
Tell him we'll
he-
do it in the fall.
I love it, though. He
No,
knows what he's
Jack,
talking
he
about.
does know what he's talking about.
organized.
We would be
Yeah,
foolish
I have
not to
I
no
listen.
beef.
understood where it was coming from. I just,
Okay.
the timing of it. Jack is very interesting timing.
So do we still have to do dates? What's left on our,
Yeah, I was gonna say, the only thing we have left is what our upcoming schedule is. We know we've got April 15th. It seems like we do have to talk about May. Like I said, I'm gone in the middle parts of the month.
what days are, right now we're on the 27th?
Right, yeah, I think probably the normal date would have been the 20th,
Yeah.
but I
So we're
won't be
currently
here.
scheduled for the 20th, so we're looking.
I can't, I could commit to probably the 6th or the 13th, but I'm unknown for the 20th or 27th at this point. Just
Okay,
because my daughter will be in playoffs and I may or may not be available.
Gotcha.
right.
And-
Playoffs,
Playoffs.
playoffs,
If they make it, the season hasn't even started yet.
playoffs.
Is it, what is that? Is that softball?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Love it.
We have two kids in the two.
Okay,
schools.
so-
We could do the 6th.
Wait,
If we,
If
if
you
we
guys wanna
do,
do that.
yeah, if we do the 6th,
lost it.
that just means we have a meeting on the 15th and then we have another meeting 3 weeks later. I'm
Mhm.
not necessarily opposed to that, if that's a better date.
I'm
What
around,
day?
so.
If we did the 6th
Of what?
of
May.
May.
Fine.
4?
What?
It's fine with me.
Yeah. So we have a meeting.
Get back
we-
from overseas.
What's your schedule, Doris?
Well, it's always the part of the world I'm going to. I leave on the 16th. I'm back on May 2nd. Granted, I can get back.
Yeah,
I
you
got a
got,
flight.
you got 4, well,
I can do it.
yeah,
I'm just
the
saying.
6th,
This
okay.
is one of the few times where
Really
like flights
against
are
it for
kind of,
time. Do you
odd.
need me to close out? the
I don't,
meeting?
the 6th is not a problem. is it?
It's not a problem.
No,
We're
you,
going from the 20th to the
you're
6th
free,
now?
Mike.
All
Yeah.
right.
Paul, can you do the 6th?
Yes, me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why don't we say the 6th
The
then?
6th?
Yep.
Okay.
I
Okay,
can go
thanks, Mike.
backwards to Wednesday the 6th.
Thank you.
All right, and
No, not at all.
I'll let you know if I've had flight difficulties.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
I think I might have told you guys, but I'm not going to be at the June meeting, but that's fine.
the June meeting, okay.
Yeah.
Is there another date that works better for you?
June's
If-
going to be
if
a little
that-
bit crazy.
What date do we have for June?
We have the 17th. I can't do I'll be away the 17th and the 24th.
Oh, okay.
But you don't
If
have to
we're,
schedule around me. Don't schedule
we're-
around me. It's a little nuts.
if we're meeting earlier in May, you want to try to meet earlier in June then too?
Should we just change them all to the first Wednesday of the month? Please don't do that.
You know, that makes it really hard on me, because then I schedule out and,
Yeah.
you know, then I'm
I-
working everything else, I'm working all my other things around it, so.
Okay.
I could do the 3rd or the 10th, but if it doesn't work for other people, just keep it and I'll just miss it. It's fine.
Okay. We can,
So we could say June 10th then. That's not
you want to do
bad.
June 10th?
Yeah.
I think I just need to know, I don't need to know right now, but I need to know with enough notice to make sure I get the public hearing notices out
Yeah,
on time. That's
okay.
all. So I just need to get those out 3 weeks before the meeting.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, if you want to say June 10th.
Say June 10th.
I'm away on August 19th, but I'm only in Rhode Island. I can remote in unless it's one of the 40Bs. Right.
If we're still doing.
I hope we're not doing
you
this
know,
40
Yeah.
Bs in August. I gotta tell ya.
I'm remoting in from where I am there.
Okay. Yeah, that's a ways out. I think if we know April, May and June, we're in a good
Yeah.
spot.
I think that's good.
Okay. All right, Paul,
It's go time.
go time.
No,
I'd,
thank
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn has been made with a second. All in favor, respond with aye, opposed nay. Doris,
Aye.
Paul,
Hi.
Jamie,
Aye.
Mike is gone, Williams, aye. So that closes the meeting, adjourns the meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Good work.
guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.